Not looking good. Got reports of this. Reading reports all over the place this morning. China declares emergency after multiple virus outbreaks. Human metapneumoviruses cases surge. Check it out.
That come in from China. Some of these social media posts claim hospitals, cemeteries are all overwhelmed with virus patients, which means the symptoms are serious.
And they're up to the same thing, not giving us the facts. Look.
Questions remain on why and how, and if at all China once again is covering up the facts. Whatever it is, it brings back a horrible sense of deja vu.
That's exactly right. It was about this time. And it's not the only place. Right here, Taiwan CDC reports 10 more people didn't make it from the flu last week. Here's another interesting thing. All these different things, whether it's the HMPV, influenza, bird flu, take a look at the symptoms. They all sound the same. Yet again, by the sounds of it, China declaring an emergency. They're not giving us all the facts. Other stuff is picking up all around the world, and people are worried about deja vu. Gonna give you the latest on all this, as it may soon affect you. Coming right up.
My name is Cohen here at Riverside Homestead, and if you're brand new here, welcome. If you guys are into prepping tips, emergency preparedness, and most of all, news and awareness, stuff that you want to know about, be sure to hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date. Let's jump into this one.
All right, guys, welcome back. Thanks for hitting the like button. It'll help it reach more folks. And if I sound a little bit nasally, yeah, it's because I am. Second time this thing has hit me in the last couple weeks. How many of you guys know of folks that are under the weather right now? Put it down in the comments in your area. What area are you in? I'll be sure to flip through the comments and see where these hot spots are. Anyway, I'm gonna try to hold it together to get you out some of this breaking news and what's evolving about what sounds like China declaring an emergency over this new HMPV virus spread. And like I said, all kinds of stuff going around. Got stuff happening in Colorado, all over the United States. I'm telling you guys about new influenza warnings on food recalls like nearly daily. Ironically, same symptoms, basically, almost. Bird flu, the other thing. Honestly, if I had to figure out what I have, it's as easy as throwing a dart against a board at this rate. Anyway, I'll tell you how I got it towards the end of the video. Also, I'm going to go over all of the symptoms of all these different things, and you're going to see exactly what I mean. All the major staples are on every single one. And the big difference is these days is it seems like, tell me if I'm wrong, but does it seem like these viruses and different things are a little bit tougher? They take a lot longer to go away, and they all seem to take out the little ones or elderly or people that have compromised immune systems. That's what I'm saying. Something's up. But let's get you what's cracking right now.
There's a lot of panic over a mystery virus that's spreading in China because obviously the nightmare of COVID is coming back to us. This mysterious virus is called HMPV, stands for human metapneumovirus, and has been reported in China. Now, we can only rely on social media posts that come in from China.
Now, what she says is true, because I'm having to go to India news, I'm having to go to Taiwan news, I'm having to go to more of a world scale news level to even get information on this. You know what I mean?
Come in from China. Some of these social media posts claim hospitals, cemeteries are all overwhelmed with virus patients, which means the symptoms are serious. Now, all speculation is going around about the symptoms, about what can be done for prevention. Can it actually spread to other countries? Do we have reason to worry here in India? All the details in our next report.
Now let me pause it because I know some of you guys are gonna be like, they're just promoting fear. And that might be true, but to those same people, the thing that we're not wanting to happen here is another lockdown. Now, whether you're worried about this being a big thing or not, that's one thing. But the deja vu scenario here that nobody wants to revisit is lockdowns. And for the people that said that was a tinfoil hat idea, well, it happened in a big way. Check out, these are some of the recent pictures that people are posting on social media.
Recent pictures from China that has surfaced on social media has sparked up big concerns about a possible spread of yet another infection.
And like I said, lots of reports of China declaring an emergency. I couldn't validate that because I didn't know Chinese.
Overpacked hospitals and crematoriums overflowing is what various handles of social media indicate, but not the World Health Organization, neither China, has verified any of these claims. It is being suggested that mysterious metapneumovirus is making hundreds of people sick. China is indeed seeing a rise in respiratory infections. This is being attributed to the catch-up period with lockdowns opening up, exposure for pathogens, and the winter season.
Now, folks, if you're on any kind of social media platform, you can easily, like TikToker, you can pull up tons of stuff. Lots of people uploading videos, clips from hospitals that are overcrowded. And I know it's wintertime. Cold and flu happens. But I don't think cold and flu is something that we deal with anymore. I think it's evolved into a whole new thing that brings other things with it that we need to be worried about.
The fact is that in any influenza, in any viral infection, the vulnerable will continue to be the senior citizens, the comorbid, and children. This again is no different. But questions remain on why and how, and if at all China once again is covering up the facts. Whatever it is, it brings back a horrible sense of deja vu, given that around this time of the year is when...
Yep, that one popped in and caught us all by surprise and locked us all down. A lot of crazy stuff came from that. And that's what we're wondering. Could this be the next big thing? So I can usually bank on India bringing out what's happening out there. You gotta take it with a grain of salt, as always.
Taiwan's flu epidemic is worsening, with 10 more people dying from the illness last week. This brings the number of influenza deaths to 85 since October, the highest in a decade. Taiwan Centers for Disease Control expects flu infections to peak around Lunar New Year toward the end of January. Officials are encouraging people to get vaccinated before traveling for the holidays.
Now, like I said, depending on where you're at in the world, it's going to be called something different, but I'm telling you, you look at the symptoms on everything and it all looks about the same. And as I said before, it just seems like it's worser, longer, than what we remember when we grew up, right? Because when I'm flipping through, I'm reading stuff like this. The old C-Vitter mutates to escape immune system, coming from Live Science. Like they're gonna blast that all over big media. Let me get you some information on this new one, this new HMPV, just to give you an idea of how new it is or similar to what we've experienced. So this is coming from Newsweek, Health and Nutrition Reporter. Headlines: HMPV, China's new virus outbreak explained. Now I found this interesting, so I think you will too. News reports and social media posts are warning on a new outbreak of a little known virus called Human Metapneumovirus, HMPV, in China. Officials are yet to confirm this, but I found their post on X. So on X, their actual SARS-CoV-2, their page says breaking: China declares state of emergency as epidemic overwhelms hospitals and crematoriums. Multiple viruses, including influenza A and HMPV, mycoplasma, pneumonia, and C-Vitter, are spreading rapidly across China. And folks, that's on their site. Right there. They put it out there. And I don't think it's some little knockoff copycat site because it's already got 6.6 million views. Let's see what's going on there. So this is apparently some hospitals. If anybody can translate that, you can tell us what that means down in the comments. But let me read you this, because this is where it sounds much worse than anything we've ever dealt with so far. So with China not confirming this, instead, official reports from the Chinese Center of Disease and Control Prevention indicate that the rates of multiple flu-like illnesses are on the rise. China, according to data up to last week of 2024, that data suggests influenza is a leading outbreak, with 30.2% of tests coming back positive for it, an increase of 6.2 from the previous week. That's a heck of a climb. And 17.7% of the people hospitalized with a severe respiratory illness testing positive for it. And you guys don't know how much bigger that is than what we dealt with before. It says, however, that same data indicates the rates of HMPV are ahead of other flu-like diseases, such as C-Vitter, rhinovirus, and adenovirus. Probably said that wrong. Linked to 6.2% of positive respiratory illnesses tests and a 5.4% of respiratory illnesses hospitalized in China. So they're saying that this thing's leading the pack. And for those of you that want to know what HMPV is, they're saying that it's a virus that causes flu-like illnesses in people of all ages, although some people are more at risk, including young children, older adults, and people with weakened immune systems. Where have we heard that before? The virus was only discovered as recently as 2001, but is in the same family as RSV, another flu-like virus. They're saying that one of these tests, more flu-like symptoms, has resulted in an increase of awareness of HMPV as a significant cause of respiratory illness. How does it spread? Just as easy as anything. Hugging, kissing, water droplets, touching surfaces that have been contaminated. Mostly from people that have contaminated something via the mouth, nose, or eyes. Now, if you're like me, you're always rubbing your eyes, you're always picking your face, maybe even picking your nose. And it's suckers like me that get it. Now, I know a bunch of you are wondering what the symptoms are of HMPV. Like I said, just like the rest of them. It says HMPV symptoms are similar to flu-like diseases, including coughing, fever, stuffy or runny nose. See what I mean? In some cases, sick people may experience a shortness of breath, and this can progress into bronchitis, inflammation of the lungs, airways, or pneumonia, meaning inflammation of the lungs itself. How long does this thing last? The length of the illness depends on the severity of the person's symptoms, but generally comparable to the flu. Now, the crazy thing is here is they say, could this lead to another pandemic? They don't have a treatment available for this particular one, is what they're saying, which I feel like I look at that in two different ways. One, sounds like a $1 trillion idea, right? Which can send you down another rabbit trail on where this thing came from. So anyway, in comparing it to the other thing that we dealt with that was pretty bad, this thing could be tipping the charts on it. Now, as far as what I got, I mean, it sounds similar. I mean, I went to CDC website right here because what I've been seeing in our area is, well, bird flu seems to be getting worse and worse, and it's starting to become more of a concern in people. Could be a big old fluke, made up thing, but we won't know until time passes. But the Listeria thing, like we've been seeing that left and right. Tons of food getting recalled for it. And the thing is Listeria bacteria can cause an infection called listeriosis. And the signs and symptoms of listeriosis depends on the person infected and the body part affected. It says fever, flu-like symptoms such as muscle aches and fatigue, headache, stiff neck, diarrhea, vomiting, a lot of the same things. So how in the heck do you even know what you got these days? I mean, I suppose you could go in and get tested. Not sure I want to do that. So anyway, you got to be on your guard. You got to wash your hands. You got to do all the things we've known forever. Don't pick your eyes, don't pick your nose, don't put your hands in your mouth. The normal stuff. If you know somebody's sick and your immune system ain't bulletproof, probably stay away from them. How to get me down? I had one night a couple weeks ago where I didn't get any sleep. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, every time that I go a night without hardly any sleep, my immune system tanks. And normally I am super healthy. I haven't been sick in I think almost 2 years. But I was around my kids that were sick for up to 2 weeks. And I still hadn't got anything until that night that I didn't have a good night's sleep. Not super bad, but I was down for the count for a couple days and I started rebounding, and then I thought I was doing good. And then I think what happened is I started getting into my workouts too early, which I think dropped my immune down while I was trying to clear out the rest of the old stuff. And whack, got me again. So I think I'm on my way out of the woods with this thing, but I'm gonna take it easy, play it safe. For all you guys out there, do the same thing. We've got major storms moving in for winter, probably some power outages, gonna get people down on their luck. So stay safe out there. Keep yourself protected, be smart, stay informed, be aware, and be prepared. Make sure that notification bell's on because I got a lot more I want to talk to you guys about. Keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing. We'll see you guys on the next one.